Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Aarin. I'm really excited to speak about the next episode of Aarin's take on Next Play. I'm excited. We are back in Boston after a fantastic trip, and to all our fans, especially in the Latin American side, happy Cinco de Mayo. So here we go. I think we are now teed up for some exciting times in the playoffs, and it's just amazing watching all these games, and I'm losing my voice. I think we are all just so excited with all the games, and Aarin, before we start, maybe you can introduce yourself and also tell us about your channel and your focus.
Yeah, so hello guys, welcome to a new episode of Aarin's Take on Next Play, and my name is Aarin, and I love doing this channel because I love giving information to people that are new, don't know much basketball, or even enjoy watching basketball, and I love just teaching them but also having fun, and with wherever you are and whatever you want to do, I feel like this could be a good channel for you if you want basketball.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, since we've started this, my knowledge about the game, and I hear from a lot of our friends, family, everybody is now learning about this game, which generally wasn't the case. At least I'm a lot more tuned in and learning about these amazing players, these amazing teams, their history. I know you did a series on just the history of basketball. Yes. That was fantastic. I think now, as these teams are fighting, battling, some are getting eliminated, maybe you can talk about where we are in terms of the playoffs.
So right now some teams, they are currently in the second round, so the semifinals, and every team has now advanced to all the teams have now played all games in the first round, so even game 7 both teams have played, and they just haven't played the first game yet. So but I also wanted to point out some great highlights for game 7, but before we go to that, I wanted to say who's in the playoffs right now. And first it was the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat, and in my opinion I thought that was going to be a sweep, and I guess I was right because they actually won, and they were up by in game 4, the game where they won and went advanced, they were up by 54 at one point. Wow. And they won by almost 50, I think. So a great blowout there to close it. And also the second one, because the Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic, so the second seed versus the 7th seed, and they played against each other, and the Celtics won the first 2, they lost the third, and then they won the third and fourth. So winning in 5. But they've just outstandingly just done so much to improve, and they've actually understood that they still have room for improvement, and they now have a better streak, and they're playing more ball movement, better offense, and defense, because this is what the championship is about. This is the reason why, the main part where they have to walk in, and right now it actually looks like they're competitors for that. And then the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. So the 6th seed versus the 3rd seed. The 6th seed is the Pistons. They really turned things around. Last year they were 14-68. So winning only 14 times, losing 68. But they just rebuilt and played around with their roster. So now they have one of the 6th Man of the Year contesters, which was Malik Beasley, and he scored the 3rd most threes this season. I think it was 2nd actually. He was only 1 away, 319. And then also they have more players like Tim Hardaway Jr. He's a great 3-point scorer. And then Cade Cunningham, which is one of the most underrated players said in the NBA. But he's just amazing at the mid-range, everywhere. He can even play his defense at times. That's really what they need for them to get more hope. But sadly, they actually lost in 6 games. So I didn't expect it to be this good of a game, like this close. I thought there was going to be like 5 games.
5 games, not
4-1. But I guess actually the Knicks beat them 4-2. But 4-2 is still quite a lot.
Yes.
And the Pistons also were playing great in the fourth quarter with last moments. First game, they were like up by 9, and then Knicks turned things around with a 21-0 run. So 21 unanswered points by the Pistons. So to win that first game. Then they just coming back, and then the Knicks won the last 2 to close it. They were tied 2-2 at one point. So. And then also the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Now, well, Damian Lillard, he has suffered in his vein, there's some problem with him in his right shoulder. So he had to miss out almost the whole season, like more than half of the season. And that really affected them because he didn't play game 1 where I think it was a blowout. But actually, he came back in game 2, but unfortunately, he actually I don't know if he sprained it, but he suffered something to his knee.
Okay.
So that's another part, and that's like Damian Lillard is their only other piece to add.
Could have saved them.
Yeah, with Giannis only being there to help, and Giannis, he's not that like title person. They did win the championship, but he still hasn't like rose up and tried to go better. And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy, but he just has to lock in at one point. But now their season is over. But Indiana has been doing really good. They've really been one of the best because Celtics swept them in the finals last year.
Yeah.
So, but I think they actually will do good, and they'll pass. So that was the Eastern Conference, the 4 matchups.
Correct.
And now the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I thought this would be like a Game 7 because I think these are such good teams with such good ability. Like, they're more even matched, I would say.
Yeah.
But I guess, no. Swept. They got swept, the Memphis Grizzlies. So, sorry, the Memphis Grizzlies are the 5th seed. No, they're not the 5th seed. They're actually the 8th seed. And then Oklahoma is the 1st seed with the 6th best record in NBA history, going 68-14.
Yeah.
But they've really turned things around again. And in game 1, they were up by 51, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then they just blew it out. And then John Morant was there laughing, like, no, we're never going to do that again. But then they just kept on losing. And then it came close in games 3 and 4, but still couldn't compete with them, especially SGA, who's the MVP this year. And I don't know how he does it, averaging almost 35 points a game, and having big records, almost better than Michael Jordan, in fact.
Yes, I want to talk about him. I think he's such a big fan. So maybe I think we can get into SGA's work. I mean, he's been just phenomenal this time, but maybe you can complete some of the other games in the Western Conference.
I'll finish that, and then we'll go to you.
Yes.
And then the Houston Rockets, who is the number 2 seed, now they just have a great roster. Like they have a good ability to score, but also play defense. Like Amen Thompson, who has a twin brother, and I have a twin sister, so it's similar. But Asar Thompson and Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson is the person that plays for the Houston Rockets. And I just loved his playmaking, but also defensive scoring. he just, I don't know, he just blocks it, but also he can steal it. He can do anything you want for defense. He'll just turn it around. And then they played the Golden State Warriors, who are the number 7 seed. Now, I expected the Rockets to easily win this in 5, but it went into Game 7. But I didn't expect that. But actually, the Warriors won the first game, which was a good upset. Then the Rockets actually won the second game. Then the Warriors won again in Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Again in Game 4 they won. Mm-hmm. Now, I expect them to win. It's one more game to win. Can they just go 3-0 again? But no, they lost to the Rockets, and then they that was like almost a blowout. Yeah. They were up by like 30 at one point, but then again they lost to the Rockets, so it was tied at 3-3. Yeah. And yesterday night was Game 7. And I'll get more to that later. Yeah. But I'll tell you more about that.
That's great.
I just wanted to tell you the Warriors won 4-3 with another upset. Mm-hmm. Like, many fans thought the Rockets were easily going to win this, like, more easier. And this was a good matchup also. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who are the 6th seed, versus the Los Angeles Lakers, who are the 3rd seed, with Luka Doncic and LeBron. Right. I was excited to see this matchup with Luka and LeBron in the playoffs. Right. Like, I don't know. So, in Minnesota, when they were playing, they just kept on having great ball movement, so they won the first game. Not at home. They were actually in Lakers Stadium. Then the Lakers actually won that game at home. So now it was tied 1-1. Then the Lakers lost. Then they lost again. Both were at home, and then in Minnesota. And then Game 5, they were in Lakers Stadium because they're better seed. So the Minnesota Timberwolves just went off and they actually won. So shout out to them and for their great passion. They have a stacked team, I can say. They have so many 3-point shooting abilities, playmaking, and defense. But even with the Lakers, they can do that. And one rule is that whoever has the better seed, so the lower number, actually will get the first 2 games at home first. Then they will, then the less better team would get the next 2 games at home. Then it's back to the better seed. Then it's the less seed. And then if it goes to a Game 7, then it's actually with the better seed again. Okay. So that's an advantage for them, but Minnesota did great and a good upset again. Yeah. And then for the last one, I wanted to say the Denver Nuggets versus Los Angeles Clippers. I did not expect this to go like this. Game 7. And again, I'll talk about the Game 7s, but Denver won. They were just off. Like, they were trading games. Like, first it was the Nuggets, then it was the the Clippers, then it was the Nuggets, then it was the Clippers, then it was the Nuggets, then it was the Clippers, and then it was actually the Nuggets that won in Game 7 with another win to go ahead. And yeah, that was what's happened so far in the first round. And I'll talk about the second round after you talk about SGA.
And I think I'm sure this resonates with sort of across America and the crossroads in terms of, we have family actually visiting from California and the West Coast, and you have rivalries and a lot of emotions and
Florida
heartaches
also.
And so it's fun to sort of watch the games together, but also just watch all these athletes battle out. But it's been fun. Thank you for the update in terms of how things are stacked up between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So, and I think the playoffs are sort of at a great juncture. Again, I just thought that the work and the performance so far from SGA has been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's been now compared with consistent sort of performance with Michael Jordan and the types, right? Maybe you can speak to his now performance. I mean, that's just out of the league, and
I don't know.
for OKC he's like a huge star, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
He now actually his streak ended, but he had like over 72 games played with over 20 points.
That's insane.
Even like I was saying, the blowout, like the 50-point blowout, actually he scored only 15, so he broke his record. But his first game to get 20 plus was actually in October. To think of it, and that was when the first game for.
Yeah, that just speaks of his dedication and his work ethic. So I think even 15 points is not easy for somebody either. So
like they didn't play him much.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So maybe do you want to switch gears and go to some of the teams now in terms of the playoffs and how you think things are going on with the initial games?
So now, like I was saying, we're in the second round. The games that haven't happened. So now the Timberwolves are going to be playing the Golden State Warriors, and then the Nuggets are going to be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then after that, that's the Western Conference. Eastern Conference is Cleveland versus the Pacers, and then the Celtics versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right now, actually, the Celtics are playing against the Knicks currently. I think it's like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But Celtics aren't doing really well with their threes. When I was watching, they were like 7 for 30 from 30. But they're playing good defense, and they were up by like 20, I think.
At least in the halftime and third quarter, Okay.
Yeah. And then also adding on, I wanted to talk about the Game 7s, very important games for both. It's do or die. So in Game 7, it was, let's go with the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. So this was crazy because I thought this was also going to be a close game, just like every other game, but no, it was actually a blowout with the Nuggets winning 120 to 101. Also, the best parts were the second and third quarters going off, going with outscoring the Clippers 72 to 40, and their largest lead at one point was actually 31. So, and then the Denver Nuggets became the first team in Game 7 history. So to get a Game 7 is first of all hard, but it's never happened to have at least 6 players score 15 plus points, and that's just amazing to see how everyone's just adapting to different parts. And I don't think Nikola Jokic got a triple-double this time, so surprising with that. But James Harden was only 7 points, 2 for 8 shooting, so 25% shooting, making his 4th consecutive Game 7. So more than 4 games he's played in a Game 7, shooting under 30%, tying an NBA postseason record. But Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, and Kawhi Leonard also did good, and Kawhi was the only player to score more than 15 points. So it was kind of lame for them to do that, but shout out to them, I would say, because they really pushed them to their best. And Jamal Murray just also went off, going So he just scored a lot, and that really helped them with some Murray. They say Murray magic.
Yeah, Murray magic.
Yeah,
it's great. Maybe you can also speak to the Game 7.
Yeah,
Golden
Cavalier.
State.
Yeah. Yes.
That was a phenomenal game. I thought.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So I watched the highlights. I wasn't able to watch the game, but
not the complete game. You watched some of it.
I watched some of the game.
Yeah.
But it was just phenomenal. Even the first quarter, like they were really leading in parts, going from here to there. And then they were also doing great. The Warriors had great 3-point shooting, including like lots of threes from Buddy Hield. In fact, 33 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. That's an amazing stat line. And 9 for 11 shooting. That's around 81% shooting from 3. 3. And then he scored actually 6 of those threes in the first half, including like one buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter. And Steph Curry had 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. So a near triple-double, actually. That's pretty good for a 6'2" person. And 14 of his points came in the fourth quarter. So he's always clutch.
Yeah.
He won Clutch Player of the Year last year, so makes sense. But when he was playing and hitting some clutch shots, he did his night celebration where he does that. And then they've actually the Warriors became the first 7 seed to advance to the semifinals, to the second round, which is amazing. But also going on to the Rockets scoring, Amen Thompson, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Alperen Şengün, shout out to that guy. He's just amazing from Turkey. Like, you don't see many Turkish players in the NBA. So 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Fred VanVleet, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Great with that. And again, great 3-point shooting, defense, playing making, passing, and even Draymond Green did good with his shooting night. He had like 8 points at one point in the first quarter. That's it. So that was amazing. And one last game I want to point out was yesterday at 6 p.m. the Pacers played the Cavaliers. So this was great because great different parts of plays. And early in the game, they were really making it go. So this is the number 1 seed, the Cavaliers, playing what was it? The 4th seed, actually. So you won't really see that all the time. So then I would honestly think the Cavaliers were gonna win.
Right.
And I thought they were gonna almost sweep them.
Yeah.
But just this Indiana team is so good now. Like, they've been always good like this, having Pascal Siakam, who's a champion with Toronto. And then Andrew Nembhard really was playing good with clutch shots in the fourth quarter. Same with Tyrese Halliburton, going with the step-back threes. And same with Pascal Siakam. He was great with the fadeaways, the three-point shots, everything. And Miles Turner had 13 points and 12 rebounds, including a 3-point buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter to be up, which was very good of him. And that was a really needed.
Yeah, that was an upset. So in that.
And then Donovan Mitchell, sorry, but honestly, he was kind of a ball hog the whole game. I was saying, but he scored 33 points, which is pretty good, but he struggled from deep, 1 for 11 shooting from 3, which is around like 9%, which is something you don't really want. Okay. But
still a good player.
Yeah.
Just struggled a little bit.
He kind of had to find more people wide. Like he thinks he sometimes like he's going to do it. So, but he's amazing. Yeah. And then Ty Jerome, who is really good. He's good at 3-point shooting, but 21 points and 8 assists. Evan Mobley, 20 points and 10 rebounds. And the Pacers shot an amazing 52.8% from 3. 19 for 36. That's amazing. You don't see that ever. And overcoming 16 turnovers. And the Cavaliers struggled. 9 for 38, which is only around 24%. But Darius Garland is their main piece and the puzzle piece to key. And he missed it with a toe injury, but there's some hopes for him coming back in game 2. And with a great upset coming back 1-0. So yeah, that's really the playoffs right now.
That's great. Thank you. I mean, I think that just is just gives you an overview of where we've come through with how the playoffs were sort of revolved, and now in sort of the first few games. So thank you for that, Reed.
Yeah.
Do you want to then talk about your predictions?
Oh yes. I wanted to talk about. So, just like I was saying, the Nuggets are going to play OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we're doing predictions for Game 1. But for as a series, what do you think? Like, who do you think is going to win? Like the whole series?
I think it's so tough right now that personally, I think it can be anybody. Just the way, whether it's Oklahoma, Golden State, Celtics. I mean, it's. I think it's going to really be just exciting to continue to watch each of these games and enjoy it with friends, family, and just learn about it. But personally, it's hard for me to make a prediction. I mean, again, biased. Maybe go with the Celtics.
No. It's OKC or.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, OKC. That's
okay.
Right.
Yeah. Like you were saying, it's hard to decide. Like, it's really been intense, these playoffs, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And, okay, so I also think OKC, but I think they're going to win in 6 games.
Okay, so it's going to drag out, and so it's going to go back and forth. Okay.
I think that's going to happen.
That's great.
And then this is for Game 1. So, for me, I think OKC is going to take Game 1. I'm just gonna write OKC. I think they're gonna take Game 1. I think the score would be 115 to 106. And then MVP, honestly, we could say obviously Shea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see, we have, I think I spelled his name right. Okay. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And those were my predictions. What do you think? So, OKC, right?
OKC, and I would say 105, 95.
Okay. 105, 95.
Yeah.
So a little low.
Lower scoring, yeah. And SGA again.
Okay. I'll just write SGA.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have very similar predictions. I can show you. And those are the predictions for Game 1.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, in terms of the trivia, do you want to ask some trivia for your for the next episode? Some things that you would want your audience to maybe.
Yeah, I'll ask one.
Okay.
So I'll ask one this time, but based on the playoffs, this one would be hard. But there's 30 teams in the NBA, and there's a certain amount of them that actually have never won a championship before.
Right.
How many teams have not won the championship? And if
At all?
Yeah, never.
Never.
Like in the franchise history.
Yeah.
And if you want, this is additional. If you want, you can try to guess what one of the teams.
Out of the 10.
Yeah.
Or whatever is that number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 10 is one of those examples, or
Okay.
maybe other numbers.
You can name one team.
Yeah.
That would be okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Aarin. I think this has been fantastic. Really enjoyed a trip with you, going to sort of
Oh, yeah.
Croatia and other parts. Just sort of also talking about the players who come from that region and
Yeah.
such a rich history, and also going into their backyards
Yeah.
and that was a great experience. I really enjoyed.
I love it.
And I hope we'll do some of these features
Oh yeah.
going forward as well, and just educate folks like me and others about this beautiful game.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. Bye. Guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video.